What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Vault Hunters. Today we're going to be getting into the create mod, as you can see by my fit right now. I also made this little room in between episodes. This is just to make using all of the Vault Hunters special item blocks a little bit easier. So to use the enchanter, I can just click this and I get some emeralds, or to use the gear reroller, I can just this and it dispenses all the different things I need. Same for the other two artifact stands, especially with the tools. So the create mod is a mod that utilizes a different kind of energy in the game. This is not forge energy or stuff produced by complex nuclear reactors or smelters or like the thermogenerators I have. This uses good old-fashioned rotational energy. So one of the things we can do is we can put down a water wheel to generate energy. Oops, that's not how it's supposed to do it. I fucked it up. Okay, here we go. It's generating energy now. I have my little goggles on so I can see it is producing 128 stress units, which means that is the amount of stress I have to work with. One of the things you can do, don't know why I'm using this tool, is we can then feed this into a whole array of things. So if I go at the create mod, I can feed it into a mechanical mixer. I can feed it into a mechanical press. We can just do a lot with these stress units. And I'll be showing you later, I'm going to be doing a nice little build that utilizes all of these things, but just for a little tutorial so I don't have to show you in the build, we can first put down a little speedometer. Okay. We're rotating pretty low at a measly 8 RPM. I can also craft this into the other thing, which is a stressometer, which allows me to see how much stress is in my system. Also low, we have 128 stress units remaining that we can use. Who cares about that, though? It's time to speed it up. So we can utilize some basic physics here to speed this up. So if we attach big wheel, wait, this is actually kind of hard. If we attach big wheel to small wheel, see the small wheel is rotating at twice the speed of the big wheel. And what's more is we can keep doing this. Now, there becomes issues. So now we are rotating at a significantly higher speed. So if we look at our speedometer, ooh, 32 RPM. So we've increased our rotational speed 4 times. But the stress on the system will be greater the more we increase it and the faster we want to power our mechanisms. So that's something to keep in mind. So in order to generate more energy, we need bigger water wheels, or we need better ways of producing rotational stress, which maybe we'll get into later in the episode. I'm not sure, but for now, we're going to make a little water wheel area in our new create area, and I'm going to show you guys the basics of how the create mod works. All right, we are back, and I have made this lovely little create area and this nice little starter house that is supposed to be sort of like a sawmill, slash it has some big water wheels on it that give me all of the stress unit capacity I would want. It's actually not enough stress units. I might need to do something about it. But I also took an expertise here. Fuck. How do I access this menu? Okay, so I have been leveling up, and I took an expertise point in Angel, which requires level 50. And what you can do is you can craft this Angel block, which allows you to fly in creative. Sorry, not in creative, I'm still in survival, but fly as if you were in creative in a 50 by 50 area around the Angel block. So that was really helpful for building. Let me just go around here. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 water wheels. Each one of them produces 512 stress units of capacity. And I made this little river going down here, which we will improve as time goes on. That go into this area over here. And these water wheels can do a few things. So I guess one of the things I should show you. So as we go inside of our structure, you will see I've implemented the principles I taught you already. So we are amplifying the total speed, the total rotational RPM so we have one water wheel coming in through here through a gearbox, which can change the direction of the rotational force. And we have another gearbox going through here. So all of the water wheels outside are feeding into this line here. And that line powers a few things. So the first thing it does is it powers this little drive shaft that'll rotate this. So we have our little mixer being rotated, and just for easy use and just to showcase how this works. So this is the smasher. This smashes. Actually, I think it might be called the crusher. Anyway, so we get to use these. But the important part here is before I didn't have anything to show the issues with how much rotational force you'd need. So as you can see right here, this thing uses uh, 1024 stress units at its current capacity. So if I were to slow this thing down, it would use a lot less stress units. But right now it's using a lot because we're rotating at 128 RPM, which is quite a bit faster than the 8 RPM we were rotating at before. And that's through all of these multiplications I'm doing with the gears. And we also have very little stress units remaining because these are both connected right now. In the future, I'm going to add some clutches and some different things to make this a little bit less problematic. But the idea behind this is I have my little water wheelhouse, which has a few of the Create Basic openers, and that will feed power out through this pipe here. Sorry, this shaft here. And I think this is a nice little pretty build. I got some movement and some life in it, which I thought that was pretty cool. And the interior is all Create stuff. But I think the next thing we want to do is the thing that I really needed the Create mod for, which was to make a super smelter for free, basically, that doesn't need any fuel. So I thought before we ended up showing the final Create area, it would be great to run a scavenger hunt vault. The scavenger hunt vaults are pretty simple. You can see that there's a ton of items up on the top of the screen that I have to get in the vault, and I have to submit them in order to complete the vault in those little green things you just saw. These items have different rarities associated with them. For example, the green earrings are incredibly fucking rare and super difficult to find. The zombie arms are also really difficult, and the pottery shards are really difficult. They have the same rarity rankings as the rest of the game. Omega, rare, epic, I don't know. There's more. Common, etc. So I need to get some skeleton bone shards. That's why I'm doing the ore POIs as well. And just killing mobs will help me get the green mob essence, so that's pretty easy. But once again, the earrings and the pottery shards are an absolute nightmare to get. So I was having terrible luck. But hey, we keep fighting throughout the vault. This was actually quite a difficult vault given the amount of mobs, and I think there was extra champions in this vault too, which made it a huge struggle to just get through everything. And time's a ticket, you know. I started off with 30 minutes because I had some relic enhancements and some other stuff, but time is crashing down. See, I even skipped the coins. I don't need coins. I mean, I do, but I don't need coins for this vault. So you gotta prioritize. You gotta be skipping stuff in these vaults, which is why I like them. It's just like you're hustling throughout the vault. I had to do this villager room because I really needed the living chest to get those zombie arms. Just another one of those things. Usually I would skip these rooms because I hate them. But you gotta do what you gotta do to complete these vaults and find all the different items you're missing. But time was really ticking. I had a minute left, so I found this dungeon, which happened to be gilded, which was perfect because I still needed the earrings. So I mined a few chests, and I got it like right away pretty much, which was great. So dipped out of the dungeon. I was very stoked about that for sure. But it wasn't over. Unfortunately, I still needed pottery shards, so I had to eat some oranges, which was also kind of a nightmare because I'm using valuable resources, and I'm down to like no hearts trying to add time to the clock. Really still searching for that pottery shard. Huge logistic problem. I finally completed everything, down to half a heart in terms of time remaining because I had to eat so many fruits in order to get this done. But at the end, you submit all of the items that you found in the vault that you need to complete the vault. So this is me submitting them. And finally, I'm done. I think this was the hardest scavenger vault I've ever done. I just managed to record this one, which is great. Very, very difficult, but over. It's gear update time, and this is what I am looking like now. I'm kitted, though. Once again, when am I not kitted? Actually, for my level, I'm not very kitted. But I have a ton of armor, a ton of health. I'll quickly go into the stats. I'm doing, I think, like double the damage I was doing last time. Did you think I was done with the create stuff? I decided to also make a little smeltery, for lack of a better word. I think it looks pretty nice. It's got the whole smelting vibe to it. So there's a lot going on here, like a lot. So first of all, we have these little cauldrons, and if you notice, there's a tube back here. And where that tube goes is to this tank that gets filled up with lava. This tube pumps lava into the tank, and this one pumps it out because we have a way to get little lava buckets now. So if I click this button, a modular router will grab me a lava bucket, and how it does that? Very simple. We have this little mechanism down here that takes lava out of the big tank and pumps it, so we can quickly see how that works. fills it up with lava. Very, very cool. And I have free lava, basically. Well, not free. So you'll also notice there's a few there's a few other things down here. And I think the best way to explain how these work is by demonstration. So let's say we want something that, what are these called? A blast furnace would smelt, for example, cobblestone into stone. I will chuck it down the tube here, and we can go down and check out what's going on. There's a fan that's blowing really hot air at the cobblestone, which is slowly getting the cobblestone to start cooking. And once the cobblestone is done cooking, based on this attribute filter, it'll be thrust into this chest right here. Any time now would be great, ideally. Kind of trying to do a video over here. Okay, yeah, you just saw it. So it enters this barrel, but then I have a modular router over here that's responsible for just taking anything out of these output barrels and shoving them back upstairs, so it should end up here. That's not the only thing we have. We have, I don't know, I guess I'll call it the dampener. So this will do stuff like make concrete powder into actual concrete. So we put it down here. You can see some water's blowing on it. Whatever, it'll turn into concrete. And then we have one more thing. Ooh, I need to cover that up. And this will act like a cooker. So if I put some kelp in, for example, it'll get turned into dry kelp. And that just uses a flame instead of lava because the lava is too hot, apparently, and it just destroys your items. It destroys your kelp, which I did not know. So I had to make 3 of these when I was really only expecting to make 1, frankly. But these are all relatively simple. We just have a ton of gearing going around. We use the little chutes to put them onto the, what are these called? The belts. And then we have a few of these gear shifts to switch the rotation of the actual drive shafts over here. This is actually really quite simple. And then we have these funnels, which take stuff based on an attribute filter and only let stuff in if the attributes match. You can do it with normal item filters as well. So let's see if we have all of our items up here. We have our kelp. Not sure what happened to the concrete powder. But anyway, this turns into actual concrete. So that's incredibly convenient. So this is sort of the area we have figured out now. I think the next step is to continue the terraining. I did some basic like podzol and moss terraining, but it's really, we're far from it being done, which is okay. But anyway, this area is, it's getting started now. We're going to be adding more buildings. We have a ton more area to cover through here. And I think next episode we're going to be getting into trains because, frankly, it's very convenient to use these to teleport around, but it really takes away a lot of the actual gameplay experience, and it's starting to piss me off a little bit. So we're going to be using trains from the Create mod, which is incredibly fun. That's going to be a lot to deal with. So thank you, everyone, for watching another episode of Vault Hunters. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.